G'day everyone, it's Warren from Ink2 Explorers. Today I'm on a small stream up in the rainforest of the Great Dividing Range on the east coast of North Queensland. This area was worked for alluvial gold in the late 1800s into the early 1900s, but not much past the First World War. As you can appreciate, these rainforest creeks, these auriferous creeks, are very difficult places to prospect. I take my hat off to the old timers who work this country because it is so difficult to get around in here, and a lot of these creeks have a lot of wash in them. So there's a lot of work required to get the alluvial gold. The problem here is too that unlike most Australian goldfields where the lack of water is a problem, here too much water is a problem. In the wet these creeks are metres deep and you can't get into them. If you stack your wash dirt up on the bank it'll get washed away and you'll lose the lot. So really difficult to work. There's probably several hundred to 1,000 miners on this field in its peak. There's just a few creeks in this area over a period about 3,000 metres in that direction where gold was won. And the interesting thing about this spot is that the source of the gold was never identified and has never been found. So somewhere up this creek there's a reef shedding gold, or there's a big fault line where this area was isolated after the gold was shed. So no one really knows what happened here, but the source of the gold's never been found, which always intrigues me, those kind of stories. I'm just going to have a bit of a poke around here today, mainly panning, but I've got the ATX and I've got the small 8-inch mono on the ATX, so it'll be very sensitive to any small gold in the creeks, and of course it's waterproof, I can get into the creek. I could have done this with the AT Gold, a VLF detector, but just to demonstrate the versatility of this ATX, you can take it anywhere, this thing, and of course it's waterproof, underwater. And some of this ground is a little bit hot, so that won't worry the ATX. It's probably good for this kind of country. So we'll have a little bit of a poke around here, and I'll get the pan out and we'll see if we can find some colour in the pan, and maybe we'll just go up the creek a bit with the mono and see how we go. But like I said, it's very difficult in this country because the wash is so deep. Ideally I'll look for some sort of slate rock bar or an obvious gold trap perpendicular to the flow of the water where I can use the detector. But anyway, we'll have a crack at it and see what comes out of it. Well, this is a lovely little rainforest stream. We've had a bit of rain lately, but this is a perennial stream anyway. As I said, in the wet this would be a crazy raging torrent. I wouldn't be standing here talking about this. Interesting little spot here though. We've got a sharp bend in the creek. There's a bit of an undercut pool, and there's a vertical wall here about 4 metres high, but what you can see there is it's an old stream bed, like a deep lead in the creek. Like that was an old creek gully 10,000, 100,000 years ago. So these are the sort of things, you can see the depth of that wash. It's about 2 metres deep in that old creek gully. But at the base down there, we'll have a crack at that with the detector and see if we can find anything in there. I mean, obviously this creek's more likely to produce fine gold, which we'll get with the pan, but if there's anything detectable size, well, the ATX with the mono will definitely find it. And the useful thing about the ATX is this folded state. We're going to scan that wall now with the ATX folded, and we'll see if we get a signal. It's going to penetrate into that wall, so if there's any little nuggets embedded in that wash, well, we should be able to pick it up. So, okay, I've got the ATX folded, as you can see, with the coil at 90 degrees to the handset, and the intention here is to scan this bank and see if there's any little nuggets embedded in this wash. Who knows, it's going to penetrate a fair way into that wall, but it's handy for this sort of situation in the folded state. Get a slight signal there, but we'll just ground balance it on the wall. Might have been a bit of noise there in the ground. It wasn't properly ground balanced, which I'd been detecting in the creek bed. Clearly this different ground balance value on the wall here. Nice to get a little signal out of this, but more likely to be down the bottom of the wash, obviously. So what I'll do, I'll keep scanning and I'll get down in the bottom there in that little overhang and we'll see if we've got anything in there. So I just got the sensitivity on level. I've cranked it up a bit because the ground's reasonably quiet. there's a lot of exposed red clay here, which is like a false bottom. There's no bedrock or rock bars evident, but it's a hard bottom. It's holding the water in there, so there's a good chance any little pieces will be on that clay bottom. Well, my detecting's just disturbed this freshwater crayfish here. Check him out. Move for you. Oh, he's gone under the rock. I wonder if he knows where the gold is. Well, this is typical of the conditions that the prospectors in the 1800s faced in North Queensland on the east side of the Great Dividing Range. On the west side, which is in that direction upstream, this stream drains to the east. The country really dries out quickly and you get that Gulf Savannah country where you get the goldfields out there where you may have seen some of my earlier videos. But on this side it's all dense rainforest, very high rainfall. As you can imagine, it's difficult to get through this country, difficult to get around, and to work these streams for gold takes a big effort. But this is just typical of this sort of east coast rainforest streams of North Queensland. Ground balance in the water there. You do get a slight differential between dry operation and wet in this country, so these little rock slots have me intrigued, but like I said, the wash seems to be really deep here. But somewhere upstream is that reef, or something that shed that alluvial gold down there. I'm going to get the pan out in a minute and do a few pans of gravel and see if we can get some colour in the pan. I know there's fine gold in here, but it may be sub-detectable size. I'll just work my way back down to that overhang. I just got this little Garrett prospecting pan, which is handy. You can carry it around and do this sort of thing. If you get into some serious colour, you can use a bigger pan, of course. But finding these creeks, you get some really, you might get some real hot spots with fairly rich runs, and then you get nothing for quite a while in the creek. But you just got to find those little spots where the fine gold seems to have accumulated. I mean, the old story, gold is where it is pretty much true, because sometimes it's difficult to explain the places you do find it. Defies all conventional logic oftentimes. I'm just going to see if I can get a couple of little specks in here, just in behind these boulders, like the low pressure zones in the creek. Just see if I can get a speck or something. I know that this creek is worth persevering with. Oh, we'll just keep panning this little bit of wash here and we'll see how we go. Okay, here's my fourth pan. I've just gone down, there's a big boulder to my left. You can hear that running water. It runs down and there's a big boulder in the middle of the stream, and I went downstream of that boulder and I'm getting the tiniest, I'm getting black sand and pyrites, and you can see there's the tiniest flecks of gold in there. No way they're detectable with any detector, but it's worth persevering. I'll dig another hole behind that boulder and we'll see if we can get something in there. I logically can work like the old timers and just keep going upstream until till the gold cuts out, and then you know that that's the spot where you're above where the gold entered the stream. It's a difficult proposition here. It could take weeks. That's what the old timers did. I haven't got their patience, but that shows that it's an auriferous creek. You can actually see a little flake there. I hope you can see that on the camera, but I'll go back down to that boulder and we'll dig out some more wash. And the second pan of wash out behind that boulder. As you can see, it's quite dirty. It's down in that clay layer, which I believe is the bottom. Well, it's as good as the bottom you're going to get up in here. This little prospecting pan is handy for just a quick look around. And it'll give you an idea if there's anything in here. Get your larger pieces off. Okay, got more black sand, more little flakes. I'll tell you what, it's nothing spectacular though. It's going to take some work to get the go out of this creek. Anyway, I'll persevere with it for a couple of hours. It's lovely down here in the water. It's a hot day outside, but it's nice and cool down in here with the water running. And I'll just show you what comes out of the pan at the end of the day. Well, I've had a little bit of fun there for a couple of hours. I'll head back home now and I'll see if I can get some photographs of the fine gold I got out of this creek. So thanks for watching. I'll be back shortly with what I've found.